Good morning, everyone. Uh, Today we've got our Mega Man 2 Zipless race between two stellar competitors. We've got Meechree on our left and SenranSam on our right. My name is Sabonis7374, depending on where you're looking me up. I will be one of your commentators today, and with me today is Health myself. Health, you want to give yourself an introduction?
Hello, my name is Health myself.
From on, I'm going to be referring to him as Health. So today, these two competitors are both really good Mega Man 2 players. I've just recently started watching SenranSam, and he is he's moving right up the ranks. Meechree, of course, has been playing pretty much every single day for the last 2 years.
Seems about right.
Yeah. Meechree worked really hard earlier in the year to finally get his sub 30 time. It was a big moment for all of us. And SenranSam, his PB right now is hovering, I believe I looked on the Mega Man leaderboards, it looked like it was around 34 minutes, which seems like a big time difference, but anything can happen in a race.
We have seen some incredible action so far in this tournament, and you can't count anybody out, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. I sort of had the same kind of situation in my race, but my opponent managed to get a race time PB while we were racing, so hopefully, fingers crossed, SenranSam can do it as well.
Yeah, I think that we are going to see some exciting action here. I'm not too familiar with Sam and what his strats are and things like that, so that is going to be interesting for sure.
I'm going to keep a close eye on him for sure.
Alright, just waiting for our racers to ready up. And the flag has been dropped, so once the restream catches up, we should see some Mega Man 2 action.
I, for one, am trembling with excitement. Okay, looks like Meech has switched over from the practice ROM. That would be a good plan.
I agree.
I don't think we could count his time if he went through the whole practice ROM. Although it would be interesting. We could see his frame count.
It would be nice to see room by room comparisons between the two.
Yeah, I wonder if we could have a practice ROM tournament somewhere down the line.
And we are off. And
Okay.
immediately we are going to see a route divergence.
So Meechree is known for not taking the normal race route that a lot of racers, including myself, take, which is flash first. Meechree, when he first started running this game, had a lot of trouble with the boss in Quickman, so he chose to run it first, and he's just stuck with that strategy pretty much his entire racing career because it works for him.
Yeah, it's gotten him a sub 30. I would say it's worked out pretty dang well.
Absolutely, and there's no reason you can't do quick first. You can do any of Airman, Flashman, Quickman first. It's usually just preference by the runner. A lot of people will make sure they do Flashman before Airman because you can use Flashman's power to make the Airman stage a little bit easier, but other than that, they can be done in any order.
Yeah, without that flash power up in Airman, there are some very tricky jumps at the start.
I know that firsthand. I've been running air first for a while now, and it was a huge mistake switching.
Alright, so we won't have a great gauge on who is ahead, really, until we get through these first few Robot Masters. So we'll just,
I think their routes won't converge until they get to the Metal Man stage. So just kind of sit back, enjoy watching two different levels at once.
Pretty clean Flashman over there for Sam. Looks like should get out of there at about a 145 or so.
And I didn't see the Quickman pattern. Did you see if it was high or low?
That was a middle jump, a medium
Middle
jump.
Yeah. The medium jump is usually the best pattern you want to get with Quickman, so good luck for Meechree so far.
Meech is well known in the Mega Man 2 community for being able to predict what patterns racers are getting. I wonder if he's able to predict his own.
Sam is getting the elongated cutscene for Flashman, so while it looks like he's behind in stage numbers, he's actually getting one of those long cutscenes out of the way first.
Yeah, 2 of the first 3 Robot Masters that you fight in the traditional speedrunning route for this category will have these extended, 30 seconds or so cutscenes where you get an additional item. And just kind of puts the brakes on the run for a short period of time.
Sometimes it's good because it gives a racer or a runner time to breathe and kind of chill out, maybe grab a beer from the fridge. But if you're looking to get your PB time, it can't stop soon enough.
They do feel a lot longer than they actually are. That is true.
Okay, we're about to see SenranSam do one of the hardest moves in the Airman stage. We'll see if he pulls it off. Oh, he chose to wait. A lot of runners will do a move where you manipulate the clouds so you can just jump while that last cloud is high, and you don't have to wait for it to go all the way around. But a good safe strat, a good fallback strat is to just ride it around. It's only going to cost you about 4 or 5 seconds extra. But there's far less chance to die.
Yes, that is very true. Meech had a minor problem with Flashman, missed a few shots, but overall, a solid fight.
Flash is going to flash. He's going to trick you, especially when you're racing. And Sam is getting to the door to the boss Airman fight. Looks like right around 412.
Yeah, we'll see which patterns he gets in the fight here.
Ooh, legacy pattern. That is the worst pattern to get to start off with. Second pattern is not so bad. Third is not so bad either. That was a pretty quick 3-cycle Airman. So all in all, with that first legacy pattern, where there's no way to get through the tornadoes without getting hit, he pulled that off just about as beautifully as he could.
Got dealt a bad hand and played it pretty well.
Yeah.
And Meech is now working his way through Airman.
And he's using that strat we mentioned before with the time stopper to get over the platforms. And now...
Yeah, we should see that other strat you were talking about, jumping off of the cloud platform.
Let's see if he pauses. When you pause the game and Mega Man is falling, it will reset his fall velocity, so he'll actually go farther to the right or the left if you wish him to. But if you are a Giga Chad like Meech, you don't need to pause at all. You just go straight through.
Very, very confident start to the stage for Meech. And
love it.
Sam has moved on to Quick Man.
He does have the time stopper in Quick Man, which Meech would not have had. So if he does get in trouble with those lasers, if he's thinking quickly, he can press start, switch to Flashman's power, and stop those lasers so he doesn't get killed.
And if he still has the flash power in the boss fight and needs a little bit of assistance, he could also use that to take down half a Quick Man's health bar as well.
That can be very useful if you're low on health in Flash, because it's almost inevitable that you're going to get hit by Flash. And if you have low health and you only have 2 or 3 more hits for Flash, you know what? Just pop that Flash stopper.
Yeah, it's a little slower, but it's so safe.
Okay, Meech got a good first pattern. An okay second pattern. Ooh, 3 of the same pattern. That was also a pretty quick 3-cycle kill, so I think their Airman fights were pretty comparable.
Very similar. At least Airman didn't jump for either of them. You never want to see that.
Yeah. And now Meech has to wait for that incredibly long cutscene, and Sam is fighting Quick Man. He also gets the mid pattern.
Keeps him down in the corner. Good strategy.
Okay, and it looks like Meech is going to enter Metal Man first, so that's good. Now we'll have comparable times. So he got into the Metal Man screen at 7:19. Let's see where Sam comes in. Sam came in at 7:38, so it looks like, what is that, 19 seconds?
19-second difference.
All
They're
right.
really not that far apart after the first 3 robos. Still a very close race.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of stages where it is very easy to lose 19 seconds. Meech got through those drills expertly, and he was able to switch to item 2, which he is now going to use to go over these clowns.
They are literal clowns. We're not making fun of the enemies.
A little bit we are.
Okay, Sam also switching over to item 2. Oh, didn't quite get the jump underneath the clown there.
Oh. But he is also using item 2 to its best ability. Oh. He got hit by the clown. And Meech just pausing Metal Man over on his right side and just pelting him with saucy pink boomerangs until Metal Man explodes.
Interesting strat there for Sam as well, picking up that weapon energy and then just using item 2 to the end of the stage, saving probably a little bit of time overall.
Definitely picking up a few of those seconds he lost by falling off of item 2. And let's see if Sam can also keep Metal Man on the ground. And he does. Short work of Metal Man. Ooh! Okay. Meech misses the item 2 strat. He's going to have to do the walk of shame past these frogs.
Oh, careful.
He used item 2 again. And
oh
my goodness, Meech. Meech, you are just trying to put me in an early grave via heart attack here, buddy.
I mean, that was the backup and then the backup for the backup, but boy howdy was that a little scary.
Let's see if Sam can make up quite a bit of time by doing this without getting hit by the frogs. Ooh, he's got a bit of a different strat.
Okay,
he's going to have more lag.
More lag, but safe.
He gets through without being hit. So I would say Sam definitely made up a few seconds on that one. Meech is now underwater. Let's see if he tries to pull off the sweaty jumps. He does not. He takes it safe. So it looks like Meech is doing pretty well in Bubble Man's basement. I don't see any major trouble here. Major trouble could involve hitting spikes, which is instant death.
And he just has to worry about, what's the crab's name at the end here? Carl?
That is Carl, and he has to be murdered every time you go through, not only so that Mega Man doesn't get hurt, but also because of previous war crimes he has committed.
Yeah, I believe he knows what he has done.
He knows exactly what he's done.
2 bubbles here from each.
And we know what he did as well, but because of terms of service, I can't say.
Yeah, I also don't think it would fly well with SpeedGaming's criteria. All right, 11:08 out of bubble for Meech. It's a very solid run so far.
Yeah, he is cruising right along. A few mistakes at the beginning of the stage, but otherwise just really, really clean on Meech's part. And how many bubbles is Sam going to get? 1, 2 bubble pattern. You want Bubble Man to throw as few bubbles as possible because that will create less lag, which creates less time addition on your part.
Man, I don't know about you, Sabonis, but that wait after taking care of Bubble Man just seems so much longer than the other Robot Masters.
It sure is, because the wait after you kill the boss is the same for every boss except for except for Bubble Man. And if your muscle memory tells you when to split, you're going to be very upset. I think it's like an extra 2 seconds.
Which somehow feels like an absolute eternity.
Meechree is using the item 2 strat so that he doesn't have to go through these walls or use the Yoku blocks to go over them. It looks like he's going to be a little bit short on item 2 to go across the river of lava, so he is going to have to jump at the end. And he does. Uses that pause strat I mentioned before, and he lands safely on the other side. That's a big sigh of relief to a runner.
Good to see Sam using the item 3 strats here, and we'll probably switch over to item... No, still using item 3. Okay.
Sam using the two block jump just to get over the side. That's going to save him a lot of item 2. He's going to have plenty to get over. And Meechree looks like he got a 30-60, I think.
I think so, and took the damage a little earlier than he wanted to in that fight, so had to jump back over Heatman at the end.
Sam is not going to have to worry about getting across here. He's probably going to go all the way to the wall. And he does. Good job, Sam. That's some good item management there, especially if you're not so good with the item 2 jumps up front.
Ooh, took a second hit on that mech right there.
That's going to put him in trouble for the Heatman fight, because if he gets hit by Heatman even once, he will die. I'm a little nervous at this point. I am puckered, fully puckered.
Ooh.
And he's staying far away from Heatman so he can have all the time in the world to jump out of the way, and he gets through without being killed. Thank goodness.
Very good job paying attention to his health and making sure he adjusted his strats as necessary.
Meechree is on to the Woodman stage after sitting through the final Criterion Collection extended cutscene. Fully completed with all deleted scenes of Dr. Light.
If only there was like a speedrunner's edition that deleted those scenes, though.
I believe they call that the practice ROM, Health. And Meechree using the time stopper so that he doesn't get to see the other 2 dogs. He is not a doggo friend, especially not in this level. Ooh, and he gets the top bat, but he doesn't even pause. He just jumps right over onto the ladder and straight up. Gamer gaming.
Item 2 strat here in the beginning of Woodman for Sam, so I assume that means we're going to see some metal strats in the monkey room. And speaking of monkey room,
Meech did not get that item 2 strat, which really highlights one of the reasons Sam used item 2 in the first room with all of the bunnies, because the using item 2 in the ape room is definitely not free. And a good beginner strat is to use it early in that first room, because it's a lot easier and a lot more free, and then using, as Health said, the metal blades in the monkey room.
Okay, and Meech going for the more traditional use item 2 on the ladder strat, as opposed to the hot new strat that was found by, I think, Stalwart Turtle.
Yeah.
Where you fall to the bottom and use the item 2.
And I know Meech is well versed in that strat, but I do not fault him for just sticking to what he knows, because, like I said, it's a race.
Yeah.
And you were correct, Health. He did go for the metal blades through the monkey room. Got through very quickly. He's also going to use those metal blades to get past the rabbits, so he doesn't have to do the very tight jump over their bottoms.
Very nice.
Maybe not pulling it off as smoothly as he'd like. Oh, and he gets the jump anyway. And it looks like Sam is just going to go... Well, I guess he doesn't have the item 2 any longer, so he's just going to go the very traditional chicken way. Not chicken because he's frightened, chicken because they're actual chickens.
They don't necessarily look like chickens, but they're called atomic chickens. I don't understand the naming convention there.
And Meech is on to Crashman, which is the killer of a lot of runs and the bane of a lot of runners. As I was saying in a match that I was commentating yesterday, this particular stage is very vertical, and so there are a ton of ladders. And one of the slowest things you can do in Mega Man 2 is climb a ladder. So every strat that you see Meech doing is very calculated and very intentional so that he spends as little time as possible on any ladder.
And this is one of the few stages in the game where you're going to be using all 3 of your items in order to progress, and they tend to be some of the most challenging stages in the game.
And not only are you going to use all of your items, some of them you're going to use every single piece. So you need to know exactly where you're throwing it and exactly how many you have left for your upcoming strats.
Interesting to see Meech take a little pause there on the ladder, line himself up.
Well, I think it was because he missed the first one. He actually threw item 3 in the wrong spot, and so he fell down a little bit. So that was his second attempt. He didn't lose much time. He probably added about a second and a half due to missing the magic pixel strat, where there's a specific spot on the ladder. You can use item 3 and throw it under your feet so you land on it. Makes it a lot faster. And Meech, using the fast kill strat for Crashman, makes very short work of him.
All right, 18:29, 8 robos. Very, very well done.
That is a hot time. You love to see it. And Sam is about to hit those big ladders. Everybody in chat, get your Wii's out because Meech is entering the Dr. Wily stages. Let's see how Sam does on the ladders. He's going to use item 3. Threw that one a little bit early, so he's not going to get the screen transition ladder boost. Ooh, threw that one on the wrong ladder. That's going to cost a lot of item 3.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, he gets out of there before he loses too much. He's going to use it again. He's going to use the safer strat where you throw the item 3, climb up, and then jump off of it.
All right, Meech was able to turn the bird around here in Wily 1, which means won't have to worry about any of them appearing in front of him the rest of the way.
Ooh, he threw item 2 just a little bit high. I believe that item 2 placement there in Wily 1 is the hardest item placement in the game. At least for me.
Yeah, why do you feel that that is the most difficult one?
I think because there's just a small window of pixels vertically that you can place item 2 where it's not so low that you can't jump up on the building and not too high that Mega Man can't jump up on it.
Okay.
So getting that very small window of pixels is pretty tough, especially when you're on a hot pace and you've already played almost 20 minutes of game. You're getting excited, your heart rate's up, you're just going to throw that item 2 all over the place. Ask me how I know.
How do you know?
Haha, I do it every time.
It looked like a 1953 8 robos for Sam, so sub 20. Solid.
Very solid. And Meech is going to be going across the 1-block platforms for the dragon. Meech usually does the drop down to the bottom block, and today's no different.
Go with what you know.
That is the fastest strat, and I've asked Meech about it before, and he says it's the one he's most comfortable with. And I think that qualifies him as top gamer.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, okay. Sam going with some item 1 strats in the beginning of Dr. Wily.
Much easier, but not as quick. So one thing about the Wily stages is between stages, your item power does not refill. So any decisions you make about using items or weapons in the earlier stages are going to affect how much you have in later stages. So for example, Meech is going to jump off of this item 2, and he's going to be looking at how many ticks he has left, because he's going to use item 2 again in Wily 4. Looks like he picked up a safety weapon fill just for that purpose.
Ooh. Sam bonked, but still made that jump. Well done.
Ooh. I'm too old for this.
Okay,
So
Meech
let's
going
see.
with the slightly safer item 1 placements there. Not
Smart.
losing much time there.
Looks like both runners have decided to correctly go with the boomerang item to kill the dragon. I would be very disappointed to see that they just use the Buster Pea Shooter.
I mean, there's a whole category for that.
There is. So Sam opted to go for the high block, and that one is actually safer because if you get shot by the dragon's fireball, it will knock you down to the middle platform instead of actually causing you to fall into the pit and die. And if you die at the dragon, you are sent way, way, way back, almost to the beginning of the stage.
And there's a lot of item management that you will need to do, including potential refills that you don't want to waste time on.
Yeah, you get punished several times for dying there. And Meech has gone through the Pico Nico Coons like an absolute champ. None of those robots are RNG, so he knows the exact pattern. It's almost muscle memory at this point to just get through them.
Now, could you imagine if that fight was just completely random?
I could, because it would be in my dreams and my nightmares. All right, let's count how many fish Meechree sees in the septic tank of Wily 3. Ooh, none so far. Ooh, 0 fish.
Does that mean that it's extra septic?
It must be. If fish can't survive, it's about time to call the septic pumping team.
Okay. All right, Sam taking a little bit of damage there, but still in very good shape for the upcoming boss fight.
And Sam is now going to go through the Pico Nico Coons. That's the name of those little robots that join together and come after him. And Meech is going to go into the Guts Tank boss. We'll see if he gets a 2-jump or a 3-jump pattern. It looks like it's going to be 3. Which is still very fast, but not as fast as he would like.
Yeah, 3 is still better than 4, though. And Sam making quick work of those little robots as well.
And he's about to take his dip in the septic tank.
Alright, so they're only separated by about a stage, and Wily 3 is not a super long stage, so this is still very, very close.
And Meechree is just entering Wily 4, which is a stage that lives in infamy in most runners' heads. It also, in the beginning, has the tall climbs, so you don't want to spend a lot of time on the ladders. And by this time in the Wily runs, you don't have a lot of items left, but you do need some of those items to get through the end boss.
Alright, solid climb there for Meech. Looks like he still has 4 ticks left for item 3, which is going to be very important on the descent here and through these spike rooms.
One good thing about Mega Man 2 that's different from Mega Man 1 is that if you get hit by an enemy, during your iframes you can walk on spikes. Mega Man 1 you can't do that. Even in your iframes you'll die. But Meech is going to use that strategy to get through a lot of these rooms faster than intended. And this is what Meech was getting that extra tick of item 2 weapon energy for to get through that room.
Yeah, he had 5. You need a minimum of 4 to get over, is that right?
I'm not sure because I don't use that strat.
Okay, I don't either.
So if I could make it up, but somebody's going to yell at me in chat. So I prefer just to admit I don't actually know.
Sam makes quick work of the Guts Dozer.
And Meech is now in the Wily 4 boss. Ooh, it looks like he missed his first item 1 throw. Thank goodness he has one backup item 1 that he's saving for just that eventuality.
Okay.
This boss is called the Boo Beams. They're those little bubbles on the side of the walls, and they can only be killed by the crash bomb. Meech only has a certain amount of crash bombs, and he also has to use them to destroy some of the walls. So fortunately, he had just enough to get through using all of his crash bombs, and he's through, which is another time for him to just breathe a huge sigh of relief.
Yeah, that fight is never easy, no matter the situation, and he played very, very well.
And Sam, he's hot on Meechree's heels. He's in Wily 4 as well. He's still on the ascent, but very quickly he'll be on the descent, which is the more dangerous part of the two.
And he also seems to be on a very good pace compared to his PB.
I think we might see another race PB here, Health, and I am here for it.
Okay, we got the low pattern from Quick there. That's what you want to see in the refights.
That's definitely the fastest pattern for Quick in the refights, but the slowest pattern in his regular fight.
So Sam's PB, according to the leaderboards, is 34.08. He's on a very, very good pace here.
Yeah, he is well on track to beat that if he can get through without any major interruptions. Look, oh, that was sweaty. That was a sweaty jump. Oh, Sam, what are you doing to me, buddy? But he got through it. I'm sure he was confident the whole way. I'm a big chicken. Meech is running a little low on health. He might want to think about either taking an E-Tank or picking up a health pickup on one of these bosses, because that Wily machine can definitely hit like a truck.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see an E-Tank use. Just a gut feeling.
I think that is probably what Meech is planning on doing. But you know what? He can surprise us. Sam is working his way through the Wily 4 boss. He's being very careful about his crash bombs. He's on track, so that's good to see. Meech not taking that item fill up.
Oh, he's just going for it.
Whatever, Giga Chad.
All right, well, I think we can both shut up and...
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Meech
Meech
should
showed
do
us.
his own comms because he's a Giga Chad. He's a gamer.
Speaking of gamers, Sam made very quick work of the boo beams there.
I am really happy to see that. If you die in the boo beam fight, it is horrible because not only do you have to go to the top of the descent, but you also have to probably refill your crash bombs at that point. So you need to farm.
Mm-hmm.
Farm enemies to try to get those weapon pickups.
Farming in this game is never guaranteed.
No. So Sam is going to start the refights, and Meech, he is almost to the alien fight, which also is not free because the alien hits like a truck. So Meech, no hugging, please. Do not hug that alien.
Looks like his Mega Man may have had a slight leak there. There were bubbles coming out. I'm not sure what was happening there.
Somebody might want to check his air hose. Ooh, Meech is set up for the half cycle. Can he pull it off? Oh, he almost did. Just one hit. And Meech with 30 minutes and 13 seconds. Excellent
Very,
work,
very
Meech.
nice run.
Give him some GGs in the chat. He's going to be breathing a sigh of relief right now. And Sam is not that far behind him. Let's root for Sam to get that PB. He is well on the way to get a several-minute PB, I think. Assuming that his PB is the one that's on Mega Man leaderboards. I could be wrong.
Yeah, let's do some research here.
Research? What's that?
It's where you just type things into the internet.
Whoa, whoa. Slow down, Poindexter. And looks like Sam's going to make short work of Metal Man. And hopefully short work of Flash Man as well. While on Meechree's side, Mega Man is taking an entire year to walk to a town that is directly behind him.
I'm sure video game logic applies there.
Yep. Suspension of disbelief. Looks like Sam... Did Sam take an E-Tank there?
I
He
did
does
not
have
see.
a lot of energy.
I think he's set up for a high 32 here.
I think so as well. Tiny the Brontosaurus is telling me 3408 is his PB.
Okay,
So
so that
if
does
that's
match.
incorrect,
Yeah, that
if
does match what is what up there.
if
What's on
that's
the leaderboard?
incorrect,
Yeah.
then we can blame Bronto. Everybody's jamming to the hottest music in Mega Man 2 right now on SenranSam's side. And here we go. Once again, no hugging, please.
Yeah, no hugs. Getting word here that his previous PB was actually 33:12. So let's see.
Oh, tiny. Well, he's still going to beat that by far.
Yeah, that was a very nice run.
32
GG's.
minutes and 45 seconds. GG Sam. He is closing in on that sub 30.
Alrighty. All right, take a little break here. I'm going to try to get another room set up for our runners for race number 2.
Let the runner's heart rate kind of slow down. You know, maybe hit the head, maybe get a drink of water.
Yeah, very well done, Sam. And we will pull up our... I have way too many tabs open here. There we go. Next race. Don't want to have it silent for too long here.
Yeah, I was getting antsy.
All right, I'm gonna go set up another room.
GG again to Sam for that race PB. We've had at least a few race PBs during this tournament, and we love to see it.
It's difficult enough to PB normally, and then you're doing it under pressure where you know you can't reset. It's crazy.
I'd like to throw a shout out to Slay in the chat, who is watching us while he's on vacation. This is how important Mega Man 2 is to Slay. He lives and breathes this game.
All right, runner taking a couple of minutes for themselves. Next race room is set up. Let's take a look at the schedule and see what else we got going on here.
I do know that this afternoon we have a race between SenranSam and Tech Gamer. I think it's 36.
36.
It's Tech.
Correct.
He just goes by Tech.
Yeah.
So I have a vested interest in that race. I'm a little biased because whoever wins that race is going to be in my next match.
Ooh.
I know. And then tomorrow, I believe we have a race between J-Dub, a.k.a. Droflo, versus Showing Official. And I'll be commentating that race as well.
Yeah, it looks like you'll be doing comms with Meech.
Ooh.
Very nice. And then Tuesday, if you're an early bird here on the East Coast or extremely early on the West Coast, we have Budsy RNG versus Rocket Sauna.
Which is another race I'm very excited about, but I will not be too excited at 5:30 in the morning my time to be watching it.
Well,
So,
the show notes do say extra strong coffee stat.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So, Budsy, I'm doing this for you, buddy. If I'm surly in the chat, this is why.
And yeah, I think
And Rocket too.
that'll-
I'm doing it for Rocket.
I think that'll wrap up the early round. Yeah, those are the final matches that we're gonna have for round 1, and then we'll start moving on to round 2, where we're gonna have some very spicy matchups.
It did not take long in this tournament to get through round 1. It looks like just about one weekend.
Yeah,
Everybody's
good to
anxious.
see. Everyone just wants to game hard. Looks like question in the chat regarding the tools used to time runs. I think live split is the most common tool that is used.
I use a kitchen timer.
Oh, like an egg timer?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Oh, okay. How accurate is that?
It's as accurate as you want it to be.
Yeah,
I am
think
definitely
there's
not looking for accuracy, just speed.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of different options. It seems that Live Split is the most commonly used app. There are also people who have submitted runs just using a timer that is on their phone, and it's in the shot, whether they're using a camera on it or they just have it, propped up next to their TV and they have a camera pointed at that. It's whatever works. All right. Right, I think, let's see, check the race room again. We should be very close to getting started here.
I think my heart rate has come down enough. I'm ready to go.
All right, runners are readying up. And the flag has been dropped for race number 2.
Ooh, I'm excited.
I am as well. Both runners putting on a great performance in that first race. You love to see those personal bests in a tournament.
All right. Looks like hopefully Sam will reset his timer there. There we go.
All right, and again, the route divergence in the beginning, so we won't know exactly who is ahead until we're through a few robots.
Fortunately, there's no surprises.
No.
Or mismenus, which can always be a problem when you're trying to menu fast in this game.
Yeah, I think both of the runners seem like they are a little bit slower than they normally would be with menus, just because one bad menu on the stage selection screen can cause havoc. I don't know if our runners are using the live split integration for with race time for this particular race, but that is always an option.
I just learned about that option last week.
Usually you will see the countdown for the race time room, typically -15, and once the racer's ready up and the race starts, that will count down from 15 to 0, and then they're free to start. Nice clean stages from both runners here. Oh, Sam with a little bit of trouble in Flash, but did not get flashed. Okay.
And it looks like Meechree got the mid pattern again. Oh, and I think he got the high pattern, actually.
Yeah, I think that was a high pattern. There have been times, I don't know about this tournament, but there were definitely a few times in the previous tournament last year where there were some mismenuing and runners went to the incorrect stages.
If I remember right, I remember Meechree mentioning that he himself did it once on the last tournament, but I could be mistaken.
Yeah, I think he accidentally went to crash second, which is a very difficult mismenu.
Yeah, that would not be an easy stage without items and or the air shooter. And it sounds like Ara is saying in the chat that Arel went to Heat Man after going to Metal Man, so completely skipping Bubble Man. That's going to make it tough.
Yeah, that's a rough boss fight.
And it takes a lot of time. In the normal routes, you only have to hit him 3 times. But I believe when you, in the normal version, if you're not using the bubble lead, I think it's in the teens somewhere that you have to hit him. I could be wrong though, because I don't do it.
Right.
It's scary.
I want to say they have 28 pips, so it's probably 14, 2 each.
Louis confirms, and if Louis confirms, it is gospel.
Yes.
Oops. Ara says it's 7 in normal. Oh my goodness. There's an argument in chat. I'll let them work it out.
Yeah, I'm not going to get involved. Looks like Meech missed a few shots there. Got stuck in the corner, but still took care of Flashman. No worries. And Sam is moving right along here in Airman stage.
Okay. Sorry, I was having a little bit of network issues on my side, but it seems to have cleared up, so I apologize if I was sounding garbled.
It sounded fine over here.
Oh, good. So I could have just faked my way through that.
Mm-hmm.
Slay giving some good advice in the chat. He says, don't use the whistle.
Okay.
That would invalidate this run.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially since you'd have to import it from the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, if you're importing something from the Mushroom Kingdom, I wonder what the VAT is like on that. It's probably brutal.
I think there's been a trade war between not the country that Mega Man's part of, which I believe is like Robotia or something, but actually against Dr. Light himself. And so the tariff duty, the regular tariff duty between the two countries, I believe is in the 40% range.
That's rough.
Yeah. However, they do have a trade agreement. The Mushroom Kingdom has a trade agreement with Hyrule. So they have the Mushroom Kingdom Hyrule free trade agreement, and that's zero tariffs.
Oh, wow. Sounds almost too good to be true.
It does sound too good to be true, Health. It's almost as if I made it up. But we all know I didn't.
No.
All right, Meech is on the second level of platforms. He's now gone through all of the Oni platforms. He doesn't have to worry about those horns until the next race. Let's see if he turns the bird. He did not. He was a little bit behind.
How big is the window for turning the bird around in this stage?
It's not pixel perfect, especially if you do what I do and jump back a few pixels before. That gives you a couple of pixel window, but it is not. It's less than, I would say, 0.3 of a second that you have to turn it around if you want to do it quickly. You could just turn and look to the left and wait there until the bird comes, but that would be far too long.
Meech with a very well-timed final shot there. Not having to worry about that third air pattern coming out.
Nice. That'll save him quite a bit of time. Sam getting hit on his way through the basement of Quickman, but that is actually an intentional hit, so he should be fine on energy to fight Quickman here. Let's see what kind of pattern he gets. High pattern. Not a terrible pattern. Not the best pattern. But then some low jumps, which will definitely help him out.
Ooh!
Ooh! He did take a death, so I was incorrect about him being fine. But fortunately, that only puts him back to the corridor right before the boss. He doesn't have to do too much of a walk back.
Then immediately gets a low pattern.
Eesh. Punished twice for dying. And he finishes Quickman. So he's out of there. Wipe the brow. Sigh of relief.
Yeah, and that Quickman fight is probably part of the reason we saw Meech switch to Quick First so early on. That way, if he did have a bad fight, he could just reset and try again.
I see a question in chat from Jagger G. He says, so I'm guessing people have visual cues for turning the bird. Absolutely, we do. We have visual cues for just about everything in this game. My personal visual cue is on that platform where it's time to turn the bird. On the second horn of the little guy that's inside the platform, that's when I turn. Looks like Meechree was able to get under that clown cog with little to no trouble, and he is riding item 2 right to the end.
Dancing on item 2, no less.
Go boating. I like it. A little bit of gamesmanship.
Mm-hmm.
Sam making it through the first room of Metal Man, and he's about to try that item 2 strat as well.
Let's see. Hopefully he gets a little luckier than he did the first time around. Oh, still hit the clown.
Ooh, ouch.
Might be... Oh, that's good. Got his jumps, very well done.
And the jump over the stack of cans. And he's going to go in and fight Metal Man. I think the reason he missed that cog is he was taking some small jumps on the conveyor belt, so he was a little bit behind when he got to that cog. And that was just enough time for the clown to knock it down on his head.
Okay. Do you have a specific strat for those conveyor belts and the jumps?
I do. As soon as you land, you do 9 full jumps, and that way you know exactly where you're going to jump up to the ledge. Then 2 small jumps under the ledge, and hopefully you've made it.
And that second small jump will take you right underneath that cog, correct?
It should, yes.
Okay.
However, if you get stuck on the conveyor belt, the conveyor belt eats an input and you don't make the jump as soon as you want to, and you get a little bit behind, that can give the clown a little bit more time to knock that cog down. So you might get hit for that reason as well.
Okay. I saw a questionable strat there for Meech. A 1-up dropped, and he did not go back to get it.
Ooh, my goodness. That is going to cost him on the luck front. His luck is now -2, I believe. I'll have to look at his character sheet.
Luck -2 just seems incredibly unfortunate.
Especially for something that was so easily remedied by just going back and picking up the 1-up. Really low class, Meechree.
I can see some guesses in chat for how many bubbles we're going to see. We got 2, we got 3, we got 1. All right, everything's covered.
I'm just happy to see that Carl did not survive. 1, 2, 2 bubbles. And
Congrats.
Meech taking full advantage of that pattern. Sam getting through the spike rooms expertly. Ooh, that shrimp hits him right in the noggin, however. And he is going to... Ooh, picked up a large item pickup. That's going to slow him down. And
another one.
Life pickup. Let's see if he also follows the direction of the Hague and destroys Carl on sight. Yes, he does.
Oh, barely
Below
gave
the
Carl a
save again.
chance.
All right, Meechree jumping on the pillars over the river of lava. Now, Meechree is going to start his item 2 strats right here. He's going to throw this one as close as he can to the wall. You can see he didn't even lose a tick by how close he put that on the wall. And he threw that item 2 a little too short, which is unfortunate. He's going to lose a few minutes because he had to move to item 3 to get up the wall.
Ooh, boy, that... Okay.
Ooh, he made me sweat there for a second.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to walk right off the edge. He's trying to make sure that he has enough ticks to get across.
Okay.
With item 2, I think he had plenty. So my guess is he did not mean to fall off of that pillar.
No, I think that's enough sweat for everyone for the rest of this run.
I can. If you'll excuse me, I need to move to a different chair. This one has been ruined. Meechree making it safe across the pit, which is great to see.
Okay, Sam going with the earlier item 2 strat there and switching to item 3.
Ooh, Meechree with a perfect bubble helmet. That adds 1 luck to his statistics. So he's only net -1 now at this point.
Okay. Ooh, the 90.
And
Oh.
90. Oof.
Heatman had 2 cups of coffee.
Every time you hit Heatman, he will be invincible for either 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or 90 seconds, or as I have been recently corrected, 31 not seconds, frames. 31 frames, 62 frames, or 93 frames, actually. And unfortunately, Meechree got the slowest pattern where he had to wait 93 frames for each hit. 90 seconds would be an eternity.
Yeah, that is true.
Just sitting there for a minute and a half.
Oh, and Sam unfortunately taking the double damage a second time in that room, so he's got to be real careful in the heat fight.
He does not have an E-tank. If he gets hit once, he is going to die, just like his last run. But he pulled it off the first time. Let's see if he can do it again. Okay, he got through the first flames. He's going to stay as far away from Heatman as he can, so he has the most time to jump, and worked out great. Meech destroying bunnies with the pea shooter. Now heading down to the Friender, which I learned yesterday is because he is Dr. Wily's best friend.
I didn't picture Wily as a dog person. I always picture Wily as a cat person.
Well, I think he kind of changed his tune in Mega Man 3 because there are some cats that'll shoot some yarn balls, which Actually, it causes its own problems in my head, but
Are you suggesting that Dr. Wily might have some questionable robot designs?
oh, never. No, they are all useful and magical in their own way. Meech actually missing his item 2 placement in the bat room. He had to switch to Metal Blade to get through those bats. If you try to deboost through those bats, you are absolutely going to have a bad time. You're going to get knocked down that ladder 2 to 3 different times and lose a ton of time.
And again, very nice opening room item 2 there from Sam.
Oh, and it looks like Meech might be trying the new strat. There he goes. He hits the chicken and straight on through. He pulled that off beautifully.
Mm-hmm. Saving the frames.
Saving the frames, but robbing us of the ground chicken, which in itself is very disappointing.
Yeah, I think that might be a -1 to charisma, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to do it for the fans. Meech is obviously thinking only of himself. Just kidding, Meech. When you watch this back.
I was going to say, that is maybe the most 180 degrees out of whack description.
Anybody that knows Meech knows that is completely untrue. His mind is always on the fans.
And also, Meech is, I think, the only runner who... Oh, well, I should just keep my mouth shut here for a second. But the only runner who has the birds show up in the background when selecting Airman and Crashman, but none of the other Robot Masters.
Huh. You know, I never noticed that, Health. Is there a specific reason for that?
So I originally thought it was because, those stages are outside, but Woodman's is also outside. And it turns out it's because those are the only 2 robot stages that have the birds as enemies. The ones that carry those eggs that are slightly annoying.
I got it. So basically, you're saying that we have under-leveled his wisdom score.
Mm-hmm.
We need to put a couple of more points there.
Yes.
Got it. Sam has now gotten through Woodman as well. He's going to be heading up on the ladders on Crash. Let's see if Meech can make up for accidentally missing one of the item 3s on his first race. He got 1 ladder boost, 1 item 3. Oh, he missed the second ladder boost. He's going to go back up. He's going to make his own ladder boost, and he got the magic pixel there.
Sam's struggling a little bit in room 2 there, but gets out of it with minimal damage.
Ooh, he hit the Met twice on the way up there. Those Mets they have very deceiving hitboxes. It feels like you should be able to get up and around them, and it's a lot harder than it looks.
Well, that was a little low for Sam. Now he's good.
Ooh, is that Michael Volt in the chat? He makes a very good point. Sam is doing a really good job of catching up, even though he took a death in that Quickman fight.
Yeah, both runners are playing pretty well. I think Meech is just a little bit behind his pace from the first race.
Yeah, did you happen to catch what his Wiley time was?
I did not catch it exactly, unfortunately.
It was definitely mid-18s or so that's still an awesome time.
Yes.
Sam now taking his attempt at those long ladders. Looks like he was stuck up on the ceiling there, which can happen if you try to jump on the item 3 a little bit too high. You got to kind of wiggle your way out of it. Meech not able to turn the bird on Wily 1 this time. Sam making short work of those ladders.
Again, slightly low. Okay.
Ooh, 2. Okay, that one's going to work. Great.
Yeah.
So Meech is going to be a little disappointed with that. He's going to want to check his item 2 ticks. Probably in Wily 2, but he's through. And now he's going to get up there, face a dragon.
Nice fight there for Sam. It's only going to be slightly over 20 minutes this time, and with that death and Quick Man, I mean, he's very similar pace to his last run.
I think with a few improvements and in some of his Wily stages, he could possibly PB again in this race with a death, which is always good news for your next run.
Free time save.
Free time save. Meech getting up and using that those item ones to get quickly up that ladder. I can always tell how fast my pace is by where the music is at this point and at what point I sync up the music with the boomerang throws. Let's see if Meech goes for the lower strat again. That's the fastest way to kill the dragon, but also one of the most dangerous. Ooh! Oh!
That's the tough one.
That's called commentator curse. That was my fault, guys. That was me. I did that. Oh my goodness.
So I think that his strat of taking that damage and that weapon pickup is the smartest move at this point. Does not have to worry about quick boomerang because it feels like you have hundreds of those in the tank, but getting those extra item ones is incredibly important.
Yeah, it was a very safe and a very wise move on Meechree's part. His wisdom score is quite high. And it looks like that's going to close the gap between him and SenranSam by quite a bit as well. It actually is anybody's race at this point.
Yeah, it is incredibly close right now.
That move where Meechree goes down to the bottom block is now going to live rent-free in his head for about the next 27 runs.
And it is very unfortunate.
Ask me how I know.
Sounds like you might be speaking from experience.
Personal experience, yeah. But Meech gets right back on that horse. He is not going to let that lower block strat beat him. He just went straight for it again. And if you look, his toe is only on there by 1 or 2 pixels. He is shoving that mistake right back in that block's face.
Overcoming fear. Immediately.
I would buy that book.
Sam with a nice top block kill there, and
works great for him, and they are going to be both in Wily 2 in very close times together. Meech has got enough item 2 to get across. We'll see if he decides to pick up any more item 2 here. I'm guessing because he missed a few jumps in the beginning of Wily 1.
Little surprised that he didn't get an extra 1 or 2 for item 1. I think he might still be 1 short of where he normally is, even after his weapon pickup from earlier.
And as we know from his last race, it is good to have a backup because he accidentally threw this first item 1 a little bit too high, and he had to use that 1 spare that he had. So he might not have that spare this time around. I'm not sure. That could be a calculated risk, and I could also be wrong. He might have enough.
I think he only has 4 shots left, if I'm seeing that correctly.
He's going to want 2
maybe
for
5
for the Wily 4 boss. Well, we'll see. Sam going for the little bit easier and safer item 3 strat to get up that wall. It's one of the few places in this game that you absolutely have to use your item. You cannot get up there any other way. So it's one of the few excusable item uses if you are running a buster-only route of this game.
Yeah, that is very true. Our Meech might just take a hit on the first mech in the boss hallway in Wily 4 instead of jumping over it.
Ah, that's correct. That's the other place that he uses it, on those mechs, and also to jump across that very last spike room.
Right.
So we'll see what he does. He's definitely got to have it in the back of his mind that he doesn't have I hope it's on the back of his mind that he doesn't have enough item 1.
I hope so as well. It would be a real gut punch to get into the Wily 4 boss room and realize there's nothing left.
See, Meechree is 2 fishes this time.
Okay.
Quite a catch.
Not so sure I would eat anything out of that septic tank, though.
You raise a valid point. Not gonna lie. And Meech is gonna get through those shotmen perfectly. And let's see how many jumps it takes him to get past Gut Stank. Ooh.
Sam also getting 2 fish.
Yeah, we've seen all possible fish in this match. So this is officially a Mega Man normal Zipless 100% run on both players' part. I think that's what constitutes a 100%, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything else that you would need to add into the run.
All right, this is where
there
the
we
rubber
go.
meets the road. Meechree smarter than all of us.
Mm-hmm.
He knew exactly what he was going to do that whole time. You were worried for nothing, Health. Jeez.
I always worry, you know me.
Yep. That's what we love about you. There is kind of a sweaty strat there in that room that Meechree's in where you can throw the item 3 and jump through the false floor there, but if you miss it, it does cost a lot of item 3s, so in this race, Meechree has chosen to forego it. Also, because it looks like he's a little short on item 3.
Yeah, he's only got 2 pips left, so the jump in the second spike room is going to be very tight, unless he switches over to item 1 instead. We'll see what happens. Sam with a nice ascent so far. Looking good.
Michael Volt raises another interesting point. It is kind of more impressive that Wily's the only human in this entire secret base, and that he built it on top of a sewer plant. I actually think that's just his septic tank, but what's more impressive is that since he's the only human, he's also the only one filling that septic tank?
I would think so.
So... Draw your own conclusions, Health.
High fiber diet.
Very high fiber.
I don't know if Meech meant to use an item 1 there. But it has a few
I think he
extras.
did. He had the extra one, and you can save getting hit by that Sniper Joe by jumping over him. It's kind of an advanced strat, and I'm proud of him for pulling it off.
Yeah, it was well done. Okay.
Normally he doesn't have enough item 1 for it, but he did this time.
I think we might see an E-tank used here. Or perhaps pause
He is a
strats
little
on Meech's
close.
side.
Okay, now I'm sweaty.
Yeah,
Very smart, Meech.
Good call.
That was smart. That was what the commentators were screaming for him to do, and he listened.
All right, Sam with a... Sam might also be using the energy tank here if he still has it.
Yeah, I would recommend the same for him.
Plenty of item 1.
He does. He hasn't used it yet. Okay.
Ooh.
This is getting sketchy. Now he uses it.
Okay, good call. As Meech goes in to fight Crash.
Ooh, quickly gets through Crash. No trouble. Ooh, Sam almost got knocked off. Ooh, and his Crash Bomb did not take out both the door and the boo beam. He's going to have to find his way back up there somehow.
Oh, and that placement might not... Okay. It's he's going to have to do some item maneuvering here.
He absolutely will, because I think he might not have enough shots to destroy that wall and the boo beams. Let's find out.
He only
I think
has
he'll be able to pull it off here.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's good. He's good.
Thank goodness. Sam, you are making me run through every chair in my house right now.
Meech is tearing through these refights.
Nicely sends the atomic fire straight through Woodman. The only way you can kill Heatman is the nuclear option. It's not exactly true, but it makes for a better story.
Yeah, and unless you're going to try to blow him away with air, but that's a tricky strat. Slightly faster, but more difficult to pull off.
In my casual days, I would take him out with the Metal Blade because Woodman, like most other robots, not all, but most, is weak to the Metal Blade as well.
Metal Blade's slightly OP. Just slightly.
I would agree with that. And Meechree kills the Wily Machine, and he is on to the alien. Now, he's going to want to be very, very careful about hugging the alien, because if he dies here, there's a good chance that'll give Sam the lead.
Do you think he's just going to Giga Chat and go for it, or are we going to see a little more conservative play?
From what I've seen so far, he's going to Giga Chat and go for it. I don't know if he's a stream watcher or not. If he's a stream watcher, I guess you're right. He might just play it safe. But if he's not, he already knows he took that death. He's going to want to go as fast as he can. He knows that Wily 1 death cost him quite a bit of time. Looks like he's going to Giga Chat it. Ooh, okay. 2 shots short, but there we go. Meechree. 31 minutes, 58 seconds.
There's a good recovery there.
So that's going to give Meechree the match. But SenranSam, he's on track for another really, really good time.
Yes. Ooh, just missed one on that match there. That was looking really good.
Ooh, we missed another one. Oh, and he got through. Okay, everybody in chat, get your jams out for the Wily 6 music.
Capcom's version of 433.
Yeah, look at those jams in chat. The audience loves this song.
Indeed.
Hello.
Welcome in, Meechree.
Congratulations, Meech.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
How are you feeling right now?
Horrible. I am so unbelievably nervous right now. Like, the whole time I was just like, my heart's pounding, I'm shaking. I'm not a good racer. I need more experience with racing, because it definitely shows.
SenranSam finishing up at 33 minutes and 35 seconds. GG Sam.
Yeah, GG's. And yeah, Sam PB'd in the first race.
Yeah, I saw. It was an excellent run.
Yeah. You both played very, very well today. And we'll see if we can get Sam in here as well.
So, Meech, I got to know, what was running through your head when you died in that dragon fight? We were all screaming at our screens.
Dude, it's ridiculous, because you and I, Sabonis, were actually just talking about this, how, like, I didn't want to change my strat because I'm so comfortable with going on the low block for the dragon fight.
I did mention that to the audience, yeah.
Yeah, I never have an issue with that, and of course, during a race, you know, nerves get to you, you don't press the D-pad the same way, and that's all it takes, and I'm like, and the way Sam played in the first race, I thought for sure he was going to have me in the second race. I'm like, well, that's an extra minute gone.
Sam did unfortunately take a death in the Quickman boss fight, so he was a little bit behind, but if he hadn't taken that death, there's a good chance he would have been ahead at that point.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's such a horrible place to take a death, and I really thought it was lights out for me. I was like, oh gosh, we got to do a third race here.
I was really impressed though, Meech, that when you went back up to the dragon, you didn't change your strats. You didn't do it safer. You just got right back on that horse and just queued him down right there on that bottom platform. So congratulations on that.
Oh, thanks, man. I mean, yeah, you can't go too much out of your comfort zone, right? You have to kind of keep doing, like, obviously you don't want to continue to screw things up, but you don't want to go too far out of your comfort zone where you mess things up because you did something different that you're not used to. So I think the best case scenario for me was just try it again.
And it looks like we've got Sam in the waiting room.
Okay.
You may not know to join up.
Oh,
Yeah, I think we can move him up here if I remember correctly.
there he is.
Welcome in, Sam.
Hey, thanks very much, guys. Congratulations, Meechree.
Yo, GG Sam.
Oh, GG's. Had a lot of fun. Thank you very much for having me in.
Yeah, you performed very well today. That looked like a pretty big PB in that first race.
Thanks very much. Definitely got a lot of practice to do, but yeah, it was fun. Thanks very much.
So Sam, because I don't know off the top of my head, how long have you been racing Mega Man 2?
So, started about 2 months ago.
2 months ago, and you're already at what was your PB time? 32 something?
Oh God, I can't quite remember. Let me just.
Either way, it's incredible.
35.
You're just blowing through it, man.
Oh, thanks very much for the support. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, Sam, big GG's to you, man. I told you offline that that's pretty much my experience level when I joined the tournament last year, and you're already well ahead of where I was at this time last year. You're going to be, if we both join up next year, if there's another tournament, I think you're going to be kicking my butt in that one.
I definitely need to practice more. Yeah. Oh, thanks very much though for the kind words, man. Yeah,
Don't get any practice, Sam, because you'll be kicking my butt soon too.
Oh man, you guys rock, man. Oh, no pun intended, rock, man.
That's pretty good.
So, how did you feel about your runs today, Sam?
I kind of enjoyed the first one, but yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. I did a couple of practices yesterday, and I just kept dying, and I was a bit like, oh my god, can I do this today and everything? But just like bit of nerves, but like as soon as you start going, it's all right then.
How did you? Oh, sorry, I interrupted, Sam. How did you feel at both races when you were walking into Heatman? You had like very, very low health, and you didn't have any E-tanks, but you went in there and you were able to get through without getting hit both times. How did that feel?
I was glad about that. Oh god, I panicked a bit because I was practicing it, and like I was only getting hit once in practice, and then I was getting hit twice on the on the run, which was quite funny. Yeah, it was nice to not die at Heatman, but I need to practice Quick Man fight a lot.
Yeah,
Oh,
Quick Man
that's right.
fight is very, very challenging.
I was just like, no.
Actually, that's the whole reason I do Quickman first in my route is because when I started Sam, it was the same thing. I had such trouble with the Quickman boss fight, and to me, it made more sense to reset my runs on the first level if I was going to die to a boss instead of like level 2 or 3. Typically 3 if you're not going to do quick first. So that's why I ended up, kind of having a diverging path compared to everybody.
I might borrow your strategy if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
A legend, man. A legend.
Meech is always looking for other quick firsts.
Yeah, I'm pretty lonely.
Oh.
And and also Sam, in that second race, you had a bit of trouble with the Wily 4 boss fight with the boo beams, but you were able to work your way out of it.
Yeah. Well, that's something I need to have a good look at because the old skill issues arise quite a bit. Like, yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, but overall, that was a lot of fun. with that mistake from Meechree in the second race, the death to the dragon, the gap closed up significantly, and you were only a few screens apart at that point. It was very close race.
Before Sam had got here, I was saying that I thought it was over once I died to the dragon. I thought for sure you would have pulled ahead by that point, because especially the way you played in the first race, like you played so well, and congrats on your big PB there, man. That's amazing.
Very much, dude. Appreciate that. Really appreciate it. What happened on while you won, Meech?
I plummeted in the dragon fight. I just didn't go far enough left, and I went right down the hole, and took about a minute time loss there. So.
Oh man, it happens, man. But you pulled through. Well done, man.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Well
It was.
done.
I was very nervous the entire time. I don't know about you, but I was like a nervous wreck this entire time.
As I was holding the controller, I could feel my thumb shaking.
Me too.
Really weird, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And then I was so scared of the jumps on there because I was just gonna hit them wrong and everything. Oh.
So, Meech, that's going to advance you in the standings, and it looks like that's going to put you in a bracket with Satoko Addict 96 for your next match. How are you feeling about that?
That's going to be a really tough one. Satoko is somebody who came in. They ran, I believe, any percent, and they didn't really play this category at all. And right before the tournament started, they came in and like, I'm going to try and put it in time so I can do this, and ended up like smashing my PB within 3 runs. So that's going to be really, really tough. Especially, like I said, I'm a super nervous racer, so I don't know. I got to try my best, but I think I might be getting beat down a little bit next round.
Well, as this particular match has taught us, anything can happen in a race. So,
for sure.
I think we'll all be anxious to watch that one.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Seems like it should be a very good matchup. And speaking of matchups, we do have another one later on today or this evening. You're gonna have to help me with the pronunciation for the one.
That is SenranSam and
Okay.
Tech Gamer 36.
Yeah, that is happening at 6 p.m. Eastern. It looks like it is set for SpeedGaming Main, this very channel.
And I would recommend to both of those runners. They are great people and so much fun to watch.
And like I said before, I will be particularly interested in that match because whoever wins that is going to be my next competitor.
Ooh.
Good luck with your races as well, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you so
Sam.
much, Sam.
You're welcome.
All right. Any final thoughts?
Oh, thanks ever so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. Had a lot of fun, and thank you, Meech, for the race. Congratulations, dude.
Absolutely. Congratulations to you on your PB, and you really kept me on my toes here. So it was a fun race, and it was very nerve-wracking, and I look forward to hanging out with you in the future and maybe talking shop with some of the strats.
Legend. Take care. Thanks so much for having me on. Really appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thanks to SpeedGaming, and thanks to both of you for commentating. Thanks Alice for hosting the tournament as well, and that's all I got.
Right. It was a lot of fun to call this race. Thank you, Sabonis, for calling it with me.
Thank you, Health. And I guess we should wrap this up. So make sure you turn into the next match later today with Sign-In and Tech. And other than that, goodbye forever.
Take care,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.